What do you get from owning KOIN versus owning any other token? Welcome back, guys. Today, we're going to answer that question. So every past bull run was fueled by some overarching promise. Whether it was an ICO, NFTs, the next Ethereum, it really doesn't matter. But that promise really meant one of two things. You either missed an opportunity of a lifetime or you were saved from buying the peak, meaning you didn't have to watch all your money suffer a negative 90% loss on a downturn. So it's pretty natural to ask, why would someone ever buy a cryptocurrency? Why would somebody do that, especially when most people miss the opportunity and always get burned? Now, once you understand why we keep having these crazy peaks in price, you also understand exactly why you should or you should not buy a particular cryptocurrency. So in this video, we're going to focus on why someone would want to buy KOIN as opposed to any other token. If you don't already know, KOIN is a free to use blockchain. You can do everything you can on the Ethereum blockchain without ever losing your tokens. This is what's known as free to use. But the great thing about KOIN is that you don't even need to hold the KOIN token in order to use the blockchain. So if you're intrigued by the face value of free to use, then you suddenly realize that yes, you can actually build that decentralized Uber. You can build that decentralized Instacart or whatever decentralized service you want on chain because you don't need to buy the tokens first. Now, gas fees are at the center point of why all blockchains in the past have failed to deliver the promise that was so easily achievable through decentralized services. And it should be clear that blockchain can provide everything that a decentralized Uber or a decentralized Instacart would need, because after all, these services tap into decentralized labor. So it's a natural fit, but it actually hasn't happened yet. And it isn't your fault for buying into these empty promises. It's the blockchain's fault for not delivering them because they were hiding the nasty truth about some of these existing models. And this model is that people need to pay to use the blockchain. And it's specifically designed to stop people from accessing blockchain resources when they need it the most. Do you want to use ETH? Well, you have to give up your ETH in order to pay for gas fee. And these gas fees constantly fluctuate, which means that you never know what you're actually going to pay until the time of the transaction. This simply doesn't work for businesses. You absolutely need stability for businesses. To make matters worse, let's say that you have the money to pay the fee, but someone else decides that they want to skip the line. And so what they do is they add a little bit of a minor tip. They put extra money on the transaction in order to get their transaction ahead of yours. The result of this is that you end up submitting a transaction that doesn't have enough basic fee costs to cover the transaction. Someone has skipped the line, they've caused the gas fee to move up a notch, and what ends up happening is that you spend the money, your transaction doesn't actually get processed by the blockchain, and you're out more funds. This is the concept known as MEV, or minor extractable value. And it is one of the biggest problems in the usability of blockchain during high volume time. And it's principally driven by the fact that there are gas fees on blockchain. All right, so now let's talk about a more improved usage model. So when you buy KOIN, you buy it once and you get access to the blockchain resources for life. So as long as you hold the token. And if you buy more KOIN, you get more resources. Now, this is similar to the land ownership model. When you buy land, you own it for life and you can do whatever you want with that piece of land. Now, someone might find more use for that particular land that you own. So you can share that land with someone else. This is the concept of sharing resources on the Koinos blockchain. Now, the best part is that resource sharing is a marketplace activity. Let me explain why. If you believe in decentralization, you must also believe in a free and open marketplace. These things just simply go together. Now, on Ethereum or other similar chains, you're forced to buy gas to pay for resources. And that's because where you get your gas from is something that you cannot control. And so it's up to the blockchain to decide what the gas fees are based on usage, and you're forced to take that model. Now, in Koinos, there are two ways that you can access these resources. You can buy KOIN directly, which is the best option because you buy once and you hold it and you get access forever. But you can also use someone else's resources through sharing. Sharing is what allows resources to become a marketplace activity. Let me explain that part why. Imagine there are millions of Ethereum out there, and users with a lot of ETH could cover your gas fees without ever losing their tokens. Again, this is a hypothetical situation. Now, would that not mean that ETH holders could charge you money to cover the gas fee since they don't ever lose their token? I mean, it's basically free money for them, right? I mean, wouldn't that mean that there's competition to sell gas to you, right? Isn't that a better market than a fixed gas market where someone decides exactly how you get your resources to access the blockchain? Ultimately, markets drive prices lower. Decentralization attempts to reduce collusion, and anyone can participate. These are the hallmarks of a fairer marketplace. This effectively allows price wars to occur and it drives the price of accessing resources lower and lower. And there actually is a bar where the price is zero, and that's the price of buying coin itself. This is why Koinos is specifically designed to reach the lowest price to access blockchain resources, including absolute zero. This is currently something that no other blockchain can achieve. Now, you're going to hear people say that there's some other blockchain out there that has free transactions, but that's the limitation. They can only send tokens back and forth for free. They can't actually fuel smart contracts, which is the reason why Ethereum has become such a dominant player in the blockchain space. So if you're someone who's interested in cryptocurrency and you see a lot of bullshit about some XYZ feature, you only really have to ask yourself one question. Can someone start a business on this chain and it doesn't involve selling tokens? Again, can someone start a business on that particular chain that you're interested in without selling tokens? Because ultimately, our goal is everyone gets to use blockchain, right? Now, this is very much like how everyone is using credit cards in this cashless society. And it really doesn't matter what you or I personally think about cash and cards. It's about doing business in this world, and it's about what the consumer wants. We don't have to think about credit card fees that are being charged because the business absorbs these fees because it's predictable. And that's really the key to all this, predictability. Free to use blockchains provide that predictability. You can choose to not pay a fee by buying the underlying token, in this case coin, or accessing the resources in a steady cost way because someone is not being charged to provide you that service. They simply hold a coin and provide you a fixed value to subscribe to that service. In that case, the service is access to the resources of the Koinos blockchain. If you're already an existing holder of Bitcoin, Ethereum, or any other major chain, you're gonna realize that blockchain doesn't seem to be going anywhere in the mainstream. And it's simply because blockchain is inaccessible. That's really it. It's specifically designed for people who have money, not for people who are trying to build a business because fees really stop them from accessing the right audience. And that's the key to this. In order to make money, you have to access the right audience and give them low barriers to entry, including the need to not buy tokens in order to access that smart contract in the first place. But if you're new to blockchain, on the other hand, you'll notice that blockchain has gone pretty far technologically, but it hasn't really impacted that many lives. It's not because it can't. It's simply because no one's figured out how to improve accessibility to no coiners. And that's really the main objective of Koinos and the Koinos account protocol or CAP. So I hope you guys learned a little bit something about why you should or shouldn't buy coin and what the underlying principle about accessibility. If you think it helps businesses to develop dApps when they have transparent fee schedules based on the zero fee approach, then you may want to think about buying coin. Otherwise, I highly suggest you watch coin, at least put it on your watch list. Watch what's going on because a lot of people are going to be utilizing this ability to have predictable fees to launch applications on the Koinos blockchain. And I think this is going to help businesses to actually deliver the promise of usability on blockchain. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to learn more about Koinos, check out koinos.io. And you can also learn more about Koinos account protocol at kap.domains, where you can read the white paper that me and my partner produce, Luke Willis, who runs the CoinPress podcast, which you can also check out at coinpress.com.